Marshall Ferguson alongside Colin Fraser as we are getting set for the 6th and final round of the 2024 Bridgestone Canadian Superbike Championship, and it is back at Shannonville Motorsport Park for the final round. We were back there in round number 1. We thought Ben Young might have the ability to have the perfect season, dominate every single session all the way through. It hasn't gone that way, despite the fact that Ben has had a very successful year, and now we get to the final round at Shannonville, and he is back where we began with an opportunity to clinch the GP Bikes Pro Superbike feature class.
So back in May, we were on the perimeter track. Now we're going to finish up on the complicated internal 15-turn version of Shannonville Motorsport Park. Ben Young, we were wondering, could he have a perfect season? He started off with both the sport bike and the superbike wins, but what he's looking to do is to clinch the championship, and he could do that as soon as Friday, but Sam Guerin is going to do his best to prevent that.
Yeah, Sam's still mathematically alive in the championship here and still plenty to fight for, which means that they're going to have to be fast from the very first time that they get on track to set the tone. A little bit reminiscent maybe of 2023, Alex Dumas, and some of the struggles that he had at the end of the season last year, but there's still plenty to fight for, not just in the Superbike class, but in the Sportbike, as you mentioned as well. What has your attention to some storylines going into the final round?
Well, I think where we were a year ago, we would be talking about Dumas and how it seemed almost certain that he would clinch the Superbike title, and that didn't play out. We were also talking about in Sportbike the start of the new rules, because for the first time the GSXR 750 was going to be legal. As it turns out, what we saw at Shannonville a year ago with Seb Tremblay was very much a preview of what was going to come, because Tremblay has been very impressive even while working through some issues this season. So I think Seb's going to be looking to wind it up the way he's played it through, and there's going to be several Ducatis trying to spoil that. And gotta mention that we understand Torin Collins is coming back. We're not sure on what bike or with what sponsors, but the Collins camp seem to be sure they're going to be at Shannonville. He's never been there before, but I think that's going to be an easier transition for him than CTMP was, and we're not expecting a lot of rain, and that really hurt Collins' effort at our previous round.
Yeah, obviously Collins with a sensational round out in Edmonton at Rad Torque, and then made his way to CTMP. We'll see what he has at Shannonville, as everybody is going to be on track and pushing the limits in the final round of the 2024 Bridgestone CSBK season. We're looking forward to seeing all of you out at the track.